Alright, new car I'm working on. Very similar to my car though, as far as the engine, suspension, brakes, and all that stuff. 63 Buick Skylark. This is a motor out of a 65 Buick Special Skylark. That's the old motor. Motor's tilted over, as you can see. Bought this motor with a blown timing chain. Lots of shit all over the place. But in the meantime, whoops, came with a lot of new stuff. Came with a free transmission, $200. You can't beat it. 80,000 miles. Like I said though, plastic gear on the timing chain was gone. There were all pieces in the pan. Pan is off. I did the rear main seal. This is the one out of the bottom part of the, like the cap. The top one is around here somewhere. Oh well. Well, the top one, I had a little trick to get that thing out, but I put a neoprene and metal seal in its place. Looking good. And my biggest problem right now is the exhaust manifolds as far as fitting is concerned. Did a good job cleaning the pan. I tell you, man, I saved old gas in a gallon container here. It is fucking kick-ass for heavy, grimy fucking shit. And then I have my ultrasonic cleaner that I recently got for rebuilding carburetors up here from Harbor Freight. I'm going to see how those came out. I put a whole bunch of bolts in there for the timing cover here. But right now I put the new oil pump gears. And you can see there's a spacer there. That spacer is not for high volume. That is actually a spacer for a new thrust surface. This engine was in very good shape as far as that is concerned. There was a lot of shit in the pan, like breaking gook underneath the sludge that was in the bottom of the pan, along with the pieces of timing chain. But oh, by the way, this is the old spring. This is the first time where the old spring really don't look like the new spring. But that new spring that I put the super duper high pressure spring in, there should be more than enough. It's probably some kind of intermediate spring. This is, don't forget, this is the infancy of this motor. Second year of this motor pretty much, and the first year was significantly different. So this is where the oil pump relief spring is going to be. I got to press in a new seal, which I'm going to put a rubber seal instead of the old rope seal. And hopefully I'll get this motor together. It's getting late tonight, but once I put the oil pan on, I'm going to address the exhaust manifolds, because this one here dumps in a kind of normal location. The one on the driver's side has a broken bolt, but it also dumps before the block, whereas the old one on the left side, you can see, is kind of protruding way past the engine here. This is the other manifold I took off this motor. Significantly different, but I fit 2 fingers in here. I don't know what my tape measure is, but basically, this one here, I put my 2 fingers in a lot easier. It's a bigger engine. It's 300 cubic inches as opposed to 215 cubic inches. And I assume when I take off the other, I heard they interchange, but, normally people would be going the other way around. But there's no way to really do this. But you see the ports are a little bit on the small side. I might be able to spend a few hours trying to elongate them, because it'll be better for the engine. You don't want to choke it out. I mean, it probably will run just fine. But as you can see, there's, one pipe over here and one pipe over here. If I dump the other pipe, it'll be right around there. So that's a problem. Because number one, the suspension piece is in the way, so even if I have something bent, it may be a little funny trying to get around it. So being that the bolt is snapped off and I'm not really sure where it's going to go. I mean, that's another story. And this transmission tunnel, you know, the floor was rotted and somebody put some, you know, even the guy who sold Giuseppe the car said that it was kind of, you know, it was kind of like amateur done, you know. So if the transmission bell housing, I don't have the transmission from the other one, but this transmission bell housing here compared to the size of the bell housing over here, I mean, this is more rounder. The other one sticks out in a couple of places and sticks up taller. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to run into, but I'm probably going to run into a problem. So the thing is, this motor is a lot easier to deal with because you could put any transmission behind it, because it's the conventional Buick Olds Pontiac that they use from 1964 all the way to 1989, with the last one being an Oldsmobile engine. But you know, you're talking about a lot of different choices for transmissions, but supposedly no transmission fits in this car without major modification to the tunnel. Like I said, there's no carpet in the car. The seats are loose because this was a project that was started and not completed. But I may have to hack up the transmission tunnel there and make it so I can fit this transmission particularly in front. This is just a 2-speed transmission, but it'll leave everything open to be able to put any transmission he wants in. So this is on its side because I would have broke my back if I tried to spin it all the way around. And this is the engine stand. The guy gave it to me with the car, so I have nothing to really rotate it with, so I didn't want to go any further than that, or I'm going to break my ass, break my back. So basically, the stuff to get the engine running is going to be there. I am actually going to attempt to start this on an engine stand here. So I'm going to get a gas can. It's going to be a new fuel pump. I got new oil pump gears in there. I really want to see it run before I put it in. So I think it's going to be pretty cool to, if you know, hopefully I can videotape that. So, getting late. I think I'm done for the night soon. So that's about it. Keep you informed.